Hi Year 2s, welcome to today's writing lesson. So today we are going to be looking at recapping our learning on using speech marks correctly in our writing, because we're going to be wanting to use speech marks in our stories when we write them later on. Okay, so who can remember what are speech marks? And what are they used for? Pause the video to have a little think. Great, so speech marks are used to show what is being said in a text, okay? And they look like this, or they look like this, and sometimes we call them inverted commas, okay? So speech marks or inverted commas, and we use them to show what someone is saying in a text. And we used these when we did our newspaper reports to show a quote that somebody had said at the scene, but we're going to be using them in our stories as well. So here's an example from our text map, Meerkat Male. He said, "I don't think I'm ever going to find anywhere that's right," he sighed. "What should I do?" So the writing that's in orange is what he said, and the speech marks go around that. So we've got some speech marks here and some speech marks here that go around what he's being said. Also, what should I do, he said. So there's a speech mark there to open it and then a speech mark there to close it. What we also notice is that there is a punctuation, either a comma, or in this case, there's a question mark here before the close of speech mark, okay? And then there's another example here. Suddenly he realized that this is the perfect place to be. "I'm home," he cried. So this is what he's saying. So we open it where he's saying it, and then we close it. But before the close of speech mark, there is some punctuation, so there could also be an exclamation mark. Okay, so first of all, before we start our speech marks, we need to think of some different words that can be used instead of said. So can you pause the video and think of any other words that could be used instead of said? I've got yelled, screamed, whispered, and murmured on mine. So can you pause the video and think of any more? Can you write them down on your piece of paper in your book so that you've got them for when you do the next part of our lesson? Off you go. Okay, what did you get then? So I've got some examples here. Giggled, uttered, mentioned, moaned, cried, shouted, grumbled, and announced. So all of these words can be used instead of said, because if we use said all the time in our writing, then it can be a bit boring. So we want to use other words instead of said. So we've got all of these words that we could use instead of said. So if you haven't done so, I want you to write down at least 4 of those that you can use today in your writing. You can pick 4. Okay, when you're ready, you can carry on with the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to have a go first at writing some text with some speech marks, and then you're going to have a go. And I've got some steps here for writing with speech marks. Okay, so first of all, I need to think about what these characters might be saying. So over here, we've got a meerkat here carrying a bucket. Maybe he's saying, "I'm going to go and get some more water," or "I'm going to collect some stones." Maybe that's what he's saying. Maybe over here, this little meerkat here might be saying, "Can I have the spade now?" Because this one's got the spade. Maybe he's asking him, "Can I have the spade now?" And maybe down here, one of these meerkats might be saying, "Mmm, this is tasty." Maybe this one is saying, give me my worm, it's mine. Maybe that's what he's saying there. Okay, so I've got some ideas of what they might be saying. Oh, this one over here, he might be saying, oh, what's inside here? He's digging a hole there. So I am going to follow my steps here to write my speech with some speech marks. So number 1 says, write the speech. Okay, so let's do the meerkat with the bucket there. He's saying, I'm going to collect some stones. Let's say stones. Maybe he wants some stones for his sandcastle. So I've written what he's said. I've written the speech. That's the first step. I'm going to tick that off. Second thing I need to do is to write a word instead of said to show how they said it. I'm going to collect some stones. Shouted. Maybe he's shouting over to these ones. So I'm going to collect some stones. Shouted. So that's my word instead of said. Shouted the meerkat. Shouted the meerkat. So I've done my word instead of said. So I'm going to tick that one as well. Number 3, write who said it. Oh, I've already done that. Shouted the meerkat. That's who said it. And number 4, put in the speech marks and punctuation. Okay, so remember, we're putting the speech marks around what he said. He said, I'm going to collect some stones. He didn't say, shouted the meerkat. So the first speech mark is going to go there to open his speech. I'm going to collect some stones. That's what he said. So I'm going to close the speech mark there. Oh, and remember, we need a punctuation before the close of speech marks. So because he's shouting it, I might put an exclamation mark there. I'm going to collect some stones, shouted the meerkat. And then we also need a full stop at the end because that is a sentence. So we always need a full stop at the end of the sentence. Okay, let's do one more. I'm going to say, do the meerkat over here, who's maybe saying, can I have the spade now? Excuse me. Okay, so begin my, first thing I need to do is write the speech, number 1. Can I have the spade now? Okay, write a word instead of said to show how they said it. Can I have the spade now? I'm going to say instead of said, asked. Asked. And number 3, write who said it. Asked the, I'm going to give the small, an expanded noun phrase here, the small, friendly meerkat. Okay, so I've said who said it, and I've used to challenge myself an expanded noun phrase there, small, friendly meerkat. So the next thing I need to do is put the speech marks and punctuation in. So what did he actually say? Can I have the spade now? That's what he said. So we open the speech there and we close the speech here. Oh, no, can I have the spade now? Oh, nearly made a marvellous mistake there. But remember, what do we need before the close of speech mark? Good, we need some punctuation. Now this is a question, he's asking a question. So what do I need instead of a full stop or an exclamation mark? Good, I need a question mark because he's asking a question. Can I have the spade now? Asked the small, friendly meerkat. What do I need at the end of my sentence? Good, a full stop. There we go. So now I've done 2 sentences with speech marks. Okay. So now you're going to have a turn at writing some speech with speech marks. So here is a different picture here with Sunny in the sand dune there, in the sand pile, with some little meerkats playing on top. So first of all, what might any of those meerkats be saying? What might Sunny be saying? Or what might the small little meerkats be saying? Pause the video and have a little think. What could each one of those be saying? Okay, well done. Now I would like you to write your speech. Remember to follow the steps. Number 1, write the speech. Number 2, write a word instead of said to show how they said it. Number 3, then write who said it. And then last of all, number 4, you're going to put in the speech marks and the punctuation. Okay, so you can have a go at writing 1 or 2 sentences with speech marks. You can do this on your whiteboard, okay, to practice. And when you're ready, you can press play and I'll show you another example. Okay, how did you get on? So I was thinking maybe we could say, Sunny doesn't look very happy there. So maybe he's saying, this is not fun at all. So number 1, we write the speech. This is not fun at all. Number 2, we write a word instead of said to show how they said it. Well, I think he's going to be saying it like this. This is not fun at all. And it's like he's grumbling it. So I'm going to say grumbled. Grumbled Sunny. So number 3 is who said it? Sunny said it. This is not fun at all, grumbled Sunny. And number 4, we put in the speech marks and punctuation. So he's saying this is not fun at all. So we put the open speech mark there. We need to put the punctuation first. I'm going to put an exclamation mark because he's not very happy. And then close the speech marks. This is not fun at all, grumbled Sunny. And what do we need at the end? A full stop. Well done. Okay, so let's move on. So if you would like to have a go at the few ideas, I have already written some sentences, and what you need to do is to write the sentences out and put in the speech marks and any other punctuation into the sentence, because there is none at the moment. Okay, and I want you to write these not on your whiteboard, but on in your home learning books. Okay, so the first one is, my suitcase is so heavy, cried Sunny. Second one, will everyone please listen, sighed the teacher. And the last one, he stole my chalk, yelled the smallest meerkat. So if you want to have a go at that one, you can pause the video and get going. If you want to have a go at the next activity, the relate, then you can carry on listening. So the relate activity is similar to what I was doing just now to show you. You are going to write some sentences with quotes and speech marks. So I want you to write a few sentences, probably at least 4, 1 for each picture. But you could do more than that because there are lots of characters in each of those pictures. And you're going to follow the steps for writing with speech marks. So the steps are here for you. And if you want to extend, if you want to challenge yourself, you can have a go at using expanded noun phrases in your sentences as well, just like I did in one of my sentences that I wrote. I'd like you, it says there to write on your whiteboards, but what I'd like you to do is write it in your home learning books so that you can email it or put it on Padlet for me to see at the end. Okay, so good luck with that. And I will see your work hopefully soon. Bye-bye.